Sample Test 3, Part 1, Introductory Questions. Question 1. Have you ever worked on a project involving food? Yes, I've worked on a small project where I experimented with creating healthy snacks using local ingredients. It was really fun to play around with different combinations and see how I could make something both nutritious and tasty. Question 2. Do you think it's important to find alternatives to animal-based products? Yes, it's becoming increasingly important to find alternatives to animal-based products. They not only provide options for people with dietary restrictions, but also help reduce the environmental impact of traditional food production methods. Part 2. Long Turn. Question. Describe a project or innovation related to food that you find interesting. You should say what the project or innovation is, what it aims to achieve, how it works, and explain why you find it interesting. Model answer. I'd like to talk about a project I read about recently, which involves creating touch-sensitive sensors for food labels. These labels are designed to help people determine whether food is still fresh or has gone bad. The way it works is quite simple yet innovative. The label on the food package feels smooth when the food is fresh. However, as the food starts to spoil, bumps form on the label, giving a clear indication that it's no longer safe to eat. This project was originally developed to assist visually impaired people in checking the freshness of their food, but it could be used in hospitals or pharmacies to monitor drug storage. I find this project fascinating because it addresses a real problem in a practical and inclusive way. It could reduce food waste significantly and also ensure that people consume food that's safe. Part 3. Discussion Questions. Question 1. How can technology help reduce food waste? Technology can play a key role in reducing food waste by providing better tools for monitoring and managing food quality. For example, the touch-sensitive food labels I mentioned earlier are a brilliant way to ensure that consumers only throw away food when it's actually spoiled. On top of that, apps that connect consumers with surplus food from restaurants or grocery stores can help redistribute food that would otherwise go to waste. Question 2. What are some of the challenges of developing plant-based alternatives to animal products? One major challenge is replicating the texture and taste of animal products. For instance, creating a vegan alternative to eggs that has the same binding properties can be quite difficult. Another challenge is scalability, ensuring the product can be produced in large quantities while keeping costs reasonable. Despite these hurdles, the growing interest in sustainable diets is driving innovation in this area. Question 3. How do you think people's eating habits will change in the future? I believe there will be a stronger focus on local and sustainable products as people become more aware of the environmental impact of imported goods. There may also be a shift towards reducing plastic packaging and embracing alternative options like edible or biodegradable wrappers. Apart from that, trends like gluten and lactose-free diets might become even more mainstream as people look for healthier and more inclusive food options.